it's that little female up front. She will get so sick sometimes that you'll say she will not survive. And then we medicate her and all like that. And I wasn't going to put her in there with it, but since we put her over here, we haven't had any problems.
Did we get fur legs on them? Fur legs on them?
No, we didn't get any brown-eared eggs last year. But well, no, she laid eggs, but we didn't. None of them were fertile.
They were fertile. So you didn't raise any this past year, at least?
One. Yeah, she's up front. Okay. This is another bird that decided she hates Tim. Tim can walk in the pen and she jumps on it. I walk in there and she's just fine.
So how many breeders?
We're going to have 6 pairs. But now, that female and this female are extremely old. Extremely old. They're probably over 30 years old.
So they might not have any more than 5 or so more years.
Yeah.
But the young one that you hatched, is that a female?
Yep.
How can you tell just by the size of them?
No. DNA.
Oh, your DNA.
Now, he hates everybody. I have to throw the food. I go through there and throw the food in the bowl from the other side.
So that's kind of amazing that these things will live so long. But yet, 20 years ago, there was probably several species of guans in captivity.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened to all these adult birds? They died out?
Yeah, I guess.
That's kind of baffling. If they live so long, it seems like there'd be some of them around.
And so many people don't take, I mean, when I say proper care, you don't have to do a whole lot to them. But give them food, give them good water, you know, treat them right. So many people, you know, I see people, I'll say something about can't leave here or something like that, and they go, oh, the birds will be fine, you know, they can make 4 or 5 days or something like that, and I go, no. I want to be sure that they've got a water bowl that's got fairly good water and they got food.
No.
That's what I hate about these people that get automatic water, especially down here in the south. They don't go out there and check them for a day or two because it's so hot. And well, something has happened to the automatic water system and the water's not flowing. And they finally go out there and they see dead and dying birds.
No, because they didn't check. It kind of reminds you of like these people with incubators. They want automatic turning in them and stuff, and automatic humidity. Well, they don't even have to check the incubator. And before you know it, nothing hatches in the incubator because they haven't checked anything in there.
Well now, of course I don't do waterfowl, but the people that raise pheasants and all like that, 99% of them keep the humidity way too high in those incubators.
Even with waterfowl, they do the same thing. They need that humidity, like 60% humidity from beginning to end, and that's it. With the pheasants and stuff, you can have some higher humidity, but you can adjust it back down. It's not recommended because you don't want big swings. Waterfowl, if you start with a high humidity, because they got their shells aren't porous, they're just thick. They repel water basically. So if you don't have proper humidity from beginning to end, if you have it too much at the beginning, you can't correct it at the end.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If you don't have enough, you can't just, the last 5 days of incubation, you can't just boost it up. you get a little bit of leeway with your pheasants and stuff, but they shouldn't be over 55%. I wouldn't think for pheasants.
I don't know. I've never checked underneath those
You
chickens.
get order chickens, yeah. But that's the thing though, is people want to boost it up and just keep it continuous.
But now I will say, even though I use sitting hens, if we have, let's say, 3 weeks of constant rain, brown-eared impians, sometimes satyrs, will be so full in the egg that they don't hatch well.
Mm-hmm.
Now it seems like, which is weird, because some of the more drier type birds survive. But those, I guess, I don't know, those are ones that I have the most problem with.
Well, I mean, again, the drier type birds can they can lose water, like your quails, they lose
Yeah.
water pretty easy because they got
Thinner shell, yeah.
no.
But then now that you mentioned it, now that I think about it, when you candle a fresh impian, blue-eared egg, the air sacs basically is smaller in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about that. Because I usually I wait a week or two before I candle and all like that, but sometimes, I'm out there and I look kind of early to see.
No.
Then sometimes when I'm candling, I'm going down the pins and I'm candling and I get an egg out and I go, God, no development. And then I look at the tag and I set them yesterday, duh.
Yeah, we've all been there. So, like a lot of the, chicken people will say, I agree with it, like 3 to 5 days, you'll start seeing the embryo, you'll start developing the egg. And I've noticed, with some of the species of waterfowl, saying 3 days, some species. Others, it's 5 or 6 days before you start seeing, like Cuban tree ducks, you might see it. 6 days, you'll see that. Is there a difference in the pheasants? Where you start seeing a definitive embryo growing in the...
Well, all the peacock pheasants, in day 3, you can see it.
Day 3,
Yeah. But some of the other ones, I don't even think about candling until 7 or 8 days, so I can be sure.
So is that
Or
the
five or
shell
6.
color that's inhibiting it?
Well,
Or is it just that you don't see any blood or anything?
well, some of it's shell color too, because I only use a cheap flashlight.
Mm-hmm. You don't use your cell phone?
No.
The cell phone is good.
No. I tried that with the cell phone and I couldn't get the damn light off. That's him.
Yeah, that was this Argus here.
Okay, well, see, he's a young one. I was surprised. We just got him in. For a while, we couldn't get him to eat anything except dog food. Then I started putting all sorts of stuff in there, but it scares you when you get a new bird in and he won't eat nothing. I mean, fruit, everything.
Maybe somebody's feeding like candy or something like that. So that's another one of my big pet peeves is when people they'll like mix up fruits and vegetables and stuff because it looks really yummy. But the birds don't look at it and say, that looks really yummy. So it's got to be good for me.
No. Ours, well, we won't even go into the feeding there. But now we do give a lot of hard-boiled eggs.
Because it looks yummy. Or because it's good for them.
I don't
Because there's a difference.
don't-
There's a difference between looking yummy and being good for you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Well,
So I know. I see.
Okay, now I see what you're talking about.
I see.
Yeah.
You feed pellets and stuff like that because obviously you're not looking for stuff that looks yummy for you to eat. You're looking at stuff that the birds want to eat.
If people would see what birds ate in the wild, they wouldn't say yummy.
Yeah, slugs and grubs and all sorts of
Rotten
stuff.
fruit, because a lot of times birds don't eat A lot of times they'll eat the fruit that's kind of on the bad side.
Yeah.
Of course, if they're
Or they'll eat whatever they find. I mean, that happens to a lot of animals. They'll eat whatever they find. They're not going to look for some gourmet spread out meal with candles and
anything that looks edible, they're going to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
So
watch,
I guess that's my point is, just because it looks yummy doesn't mean it's, nutritionally balanced for the bird or, and I'm always, I like the idea of pellets. Supplement them obviously, like, we know some birds like, some fruit supplement in the diets, or if it's for an enrichment or an occasional treat, which I don't believe in treating birds all the time. But like the poultry industry has spent billions and billions of dollars on researching the needs of ducks and geese and swans. Now, granted, it's domestic birds and stuff, but by the same token, they're taking like the vitamins and stuff that the chickens or jungle fowl need, and they're adding it at 30 times the required just to make sure that it covers all the grounds. So in other words, we had to take that as a guidance for what we feed our pheasants and what we feed our wild waterfowl and stuff like that. And because it falls within this range of, for lack of a better term, acceptability, we can tweak our diets based on the science, if that makes sense, versus just saying, oh geez, we're going to feed this because this looks like it. It looks like it's delicious.
If going back to the laying pellets, okay, you got chickens in a pen this big, and they're fed strictly laying pellets, but they're laying an egg every day. So that's your balanced diet. Then you work from that, like you said, to give them the other stuff that individual species
Because
needs.
we know, like, pheasants are going to need more, obviously, than a caged chicken, simply because the energy requirements for a cockbird strutting for the hens is almost as equivalent to what the hens are going to put out by their energy needs for the hen to lay an egg. I mean, so we start with the laying pellets or whatever pellets, and then we build on that diet based on your individual species, mixing all sorts of stuff.
I see some people that will take their pellets and then they mix in all this other stuff, and then the birds only eat what they like.
What they like, yeah.
Okay, they're not getting that. I mean, it's sort of like.
But that gets it again. We're putting stuff. Some of these people are putting stuff in that they think looks delicious, and the pheasants, first of all, don't care they don't care whether it's an arborvitae or a weed in there. It's the same type of thing. They don't care what it looks like. They're going by taste or the dietary needs. Like clay doesn't look good to me to eat, and yet the parrots in South America go to clay banks and eat clay. So it's not always about what looks good for them. It's what is actually good for them
and what they need.
And what they need, exactly.